说哈，我南无满洲西耶，南无说西耶，南无我南无西耶说哈，我南无满洲西耶，南无说西耶，南无我南无西耶说哈。觉当作给中南来讲出八度南地讲出去，大给兄弟给别从南给着拉文杰上给着巴说。觉当作给中南来讲出八度南地讲出去，大给兄弟给别从南给着拉文杰上给着巴说。觉当作给中南来讲出八度南地讲出去，大给兄弟给别从南给着拉文杰上给着巴说。给给就见没多长，你让灵犀你得见把的，让给心头没点花也，这边那大心大就把胸怀，突然让他们到了干你呀大呀。
Aslında tabii ki insan bir kullanma var. Niye gibi tabii var yani şey minare çıktı. Esince de bu kadar sakıncası yok.
That a good motivation. For the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will achieve the state of enlightenment. For this purpose, I'm going to listen to the commentary on the Lam Rim teachings and practice accordingly in order to benefit sentient beings.
Oh yeah, thank you. Adri also the share the de chang de so wa. Also so to no yin ro sa. De ara sa de ni so de wa. Ni so de de share so wa.
So to continue where we left in previous class, so inquiry into time.
나 비즈와서 간다. 당연히 한번 이버스 제시노라 되나? 소만들이 소소소서 이버스 그 데리와. 그 이버스랑 와서 신의 가서 시에서 이버 대시래. 야 대시도 만들고 이버야만 하도록 기능이 있고 이버 제가 요 맛을 보러 그 집에서 그래서 와. 난 나 뒤쳐서 와서 난 이버 대달라 간다 뒤쳐지. 난 이버 대달라 뒤쳐지 거면서 어떻게 제시고 그러와. 이버 대달라 그렇지나. 어우나
So here you see that there are 6 modes of inquiries. So inquiries basically refers to inquire or search the objects of observations of special insight. And previously we have learned about the objects of observation for special insight, and basically it can be condensed into 4 types. So here we talk about the inquiry into time. So it's an inquiry into the 2 times. So it's the search. If thing occurred in the past, thing will occur in the future, and these things is presently occurring. Okay. And next one is the inquiry into principles. So principles or reasonings. So it's of 4 types. The first one is the principle of dependence. And the second one is the principle of the function. The third one, sumati. Oh, sumati kariri. Oh yeah. So the third one is the principle of evidence or logical proof. And the last one is the principle of nature. 한마디 뭐로?
나도 지키려고. 나도 이거를 시에 당어서 말을 지키려고.
맞아.
당어서 TV를 봐서 대가서 한한지 용자들이 주 대부분 기대 제 관리가 되게 주대 되게 봐. 이제는 되는 거 같아요. 와. TV를 봐들이 하다. 이게 당과 지도서 다리가 진도 살아와. 이 도와다 되게 라이트. 이제 이제 가는 没有这个是多少多少的情况，前面就是过是的，那没不定情况了，搞这个呢，天晓得你就路上我说，你这个这个就是过是吧？有就是过是的，你这这类点的多，对不对？那我说，你给我情况呢，你给我点的，对不对？我这个，那这个东西呢，就没给我点这个东西，我在定对象，就是对象头的，他可能话，你那个这个就是过是对的话。
First is the principle of dependence, is that the occurrence of effects depends on causes and conditions. So this is what we have learned in the Loring also. So in Loring, we talk about from the cause, which is the fire, then there comes the result, smoke. So it talks about the dependence or dependent relationship between the cause and conditions. And similarly, we always talk about the virtuous cause give rise to the happy results, and non-virtuous cause give rise to the suffering results. So it talks about the relationship between the cause and conditions.
我就是说，当我说，那个说的，说的，他所有的那看到，我们的那，他过了，就是这个不是过了点到底，是吧？结束了，你都是说出来的，然后对，过了点到你做过呢，让他变得新的东西，你等待的话，他工作点把你，可能工作点把你。那你有这结果呢？你有什么新的结果啊？那新的呢？把我今天的，那个今天工作对吧？等到对吧？你的这如果呢，给你新如果可能这个些，那可能这些，但就不要等到对吧？就工作对吧？可能是吧？这结束，结束了，万一把其他那个就解释要把它看的，是吧？稀少的。而且工作地方等到地方，给你就洗，给你对吧？其实洗了啊，我洗，那洗时候的话说，洗下的话说用到现在洗下的效果的话，洗下的，你洗的的话，对吧？我的，那别说你说刚才的话，当然结果起来的，电把它结果起来的，你一洗的了结果起来是，那别说你没什么话。
So it's also an inquiry in terms of the conventional, the ultimate, and their basis taken individually. So the modes of inquiry is also in terms of the conventional, the conventional truth, the ultimate truth, and also their basis. So the basis refers to the basis of divisions, or another way of saying this is the object of knowledge. So first, if in order to search into the conventional truth and ultimate truth, then one must first search the base of the conventional truth and ultimate truth. So, for example, base such as form. So when you search into it, then you search how the conventional truth, how is the conventional truth exists on this base, the how is the conventional truth exists on this basis, and how the ultimate truth exists on this basis.
那对我来说的，里边包括这些里边的，它小花溪里边是个是吧？小花溪里边，那小花溪里边这边呢，那看到米包让这边是吧？那就是和叔叔说的，小花的里边是可能在这个地方是吧？那小花溪里边是每 CB 小花溪里也是是吧？每 CB 小花溪也是吧？每 CB 小花溪也是，那怎么每 CB 小花溪里，看到我理解的话，ACB 小学的阶段的嘛，我们写的话，写的速度啊。
So the second is the principle of the functions, is that phenomena perform their own functions. So such as a fire performing the functions of burning. So this is the first type.
每 CB 小学吧，你嘛写的送叫做也送的，但等到现在我每 CB 小学也是呢，每大部分看到每 CB 小学吧，是吧？每到个时的每 CB 小学吧，是吧？每 CB 小学吧，是吧？每 CB 小学吧，那每 CB 小学吧，第一次没得出去我，没得我，是吧？没得出去我的。没 CB 小学吧，第一次呢，第一次呢没得出去我是的，我的，哇，没可能。
我
没可能我的看到，我不是写过的，写吧的得写吧是不是吧？写吧得写吧的，写吧是我得写是不是吧？写吧是我得写啊，
写吧应该得写吧咯，
写吧是写吧得写吧是不是吧？写吧是吧？写吧是得写吧，没得写吧？
写吧应该得没写吧，
写吧得写吧，写吧是我的得写了不是吧？得写啊。那这个的话，那类似的吧，这个的话，是吧？就那个新老的吧，搞定的这个的话，这把做的没得写的是，写的，那写的我那等于我那小孩写是都是他不写，是吧？那什么其他怎么国家的话，
So, for example, fire performing the functions of burning. So, it is a search in terms of this is the phenomenon. So, this is the phenomenon in this example. So, fire is the phenomenon, and that is the function. So, the function is uh, performing the functions of burning. So, performing the functions of burning is the functions of burning is the function. And then this phenomenon performs that function. So fire performing the functions of burning is, and that is the is the function. Burning is the function. Oh yeah, sorry. This is the phenomenon. So fire is the phenomenon, and then the functions of fire is burning. The functions of fire is burning. So fire forming the functions of burning. So this phenomenon forms that function. So the fire performs the functions of burning.
那对吧？那什么的在 TB 主义里边说对吧？那必须是在年代就是嘛个成功的，那 TB 主义里边对吧？这个嘛的什么的搞出来的，看到对吧？现在对嘛？TB 主义发展，那时候什么的，缺根的，那时候什么的，结果什么的，已经如果什么是也是，那看到就有新鲜了，别说我了嘛，对吧？到时候你要嘛，是吧？也是我主流，也是我，呀，那当时就我觉得这些，是吧？
去有亲戚来你得送了
我别说了没这个钱，才没别说了，别说我要不就过了，去干有才新鲜了，别说个馒头吧，有人不干了有嘛？
这边送康荣来的通过了。
我别说考虑进馒头吧，就要嘛是。
And next one is the principle of evidence. So it is to establish a meaning without contradicting valid cognition. So it is a search that reflects on whether direct perceptions, inferences, or reliable scriptures. So the three types of valid cognition exist with regard to a given object. So direct perceptions, in other words, is direct perceiver. Inferences is inferential cognizer. So so then or reliable scripture. So we have learned about this before: direct perceptions, inferences, or reliable scriptures. So any phenomena exists, then it must be perceived by any of these three valid cognitions. There is no phenomena that exists that is not perceived by any of these three valid cognitions.
当我这背小的你是吧？那边呢，俺说我不得不去吧？我不得不去有的是老的，但我不等我呢有，但我说就车马的，结果车马的，我不车马刚进来有过了嘛的，刚进来没办法，但我不有的是呢，你讲的你老板反正就有嘛，那个要把天天都有嘛，我不那我记得有的刚是呢，没些个我是那通说没些吧，没些吧的我说那通话说啥，这个不能的有把它看的，但我说通话说的有把它有啊，早晚你有嘛。哇，有的是我那是差的，但是呢，我是肯是多的是吧？是吧？你了解，我这个有的是。那你们打把的是，那你们打把的，本身干，你看，那么打把的是呢，那么打不都结巴车嘛？结巴车嘛，这个那么打把，我那这里也有的是，结巴车嘛，这里那么打把都爱跟去，原生的跟你多啊，原生的跟你多，那结巴车嘛是我原生就跟你多哎，对吧？我这里。那的没那把的，因为就是的，结巴车嘛得的，对吧？你不管是有的是，有的结巴车嘛我这的，等于有啊，是不是？那的我也是当下的，是吧？对吧？那当不定的，对吧？
So for example, blue blue exists. So then when we say blue exists, then it must be realized by any of the three valid cognitions of direct perceiver, inferences, and reliable scriptures. So, and then, for example, when we say blue exists, because it is directly perceived by an eye consciousness. So that which is directly perceived by an eye consciousness and the existence of the blue are not contradictory. So these two are not contradictory. So similarly, when we say sound is impermanent, so then when we say that sound is impermanent, then it is because it is realized by the inferential valid cognizers in dependence on the reason. So then this similarly, the existence of the effect of sound being impermanent is and being realized by an inferential valid cognizer in dependence on reason, not contradictory.
옆에는 어떻게 능력 점하기 너무 좋아. 능력 점하서 그래. 이 신발 동안 농지 동안이 신발 동안 농지 좋아돼. 하나도 능력 점하기 그래. 능력 점하기 좋아. 이게 능력 점하기. 등수다. 아까 먼저 제마서다 뭔가 와지 그거 그러다. 이어 신제는 것도 제마서 뭐 가로지다 뭔가 와지 그거 그러면도 대수단 게나 대수 가로지다 아까 대수로 맞고지 여반이나 제마서는 여와 차는 거리. 내가서 여바 계획이 되고 와.
Sum karon la megawaro.
가로다 뭔가 와지 그거 따라라. 어디 가서 가로다 뭔가 와지 이어 신제라. 어떤 거에는 있다 여와 차고. 어디 땅 와서 돼 가나 준비도 되고 와서 다 그거 지야 돼. 그러나 Digi, yorsna, I'm going to say to Mudu Chema Chef. Doa, the reason many years of Lavatan Bandiba, Doa, Mumota, 10 years of Lavatan when it's in Coach. Doa, or that the beginning to the was a Dinoa. That was when it's in Dumudu, the Wachianush.
And the third one is the reliable scriptures. So reliable scriptures, for example, giving then will bring forth the result of being resourceful, or being resourceful or being wealthy. So then this is established by the valid cognitions of reliable scriptures. So anything exists, then it must be something that is not contradictory. It must be something that is not contradicted by any of these three valid cognitions. So without being exist conventionally by saying by the verbal convention saying that blue exists. So without just leaving it as it is that it exists, it merely exists conventionally with the convention saying blue exists. Then we checked whether these things, blue, for example, exist without being contradicted by any of the three valid cognitions.
What is it? That's a change about the Shiva in that war. People change the ribbons or the men, our tree, members of the men, dinner has got change. That's the dinner have changed. That way is Shadwa. They saw that I'm in Sawa is that other. But you put you some about you, that under yes, Chuchu mother, some of Shia Chadwa, that's how you. That's your own, but Nazar boots. The Tommy was just half over the chips over his reason to the or the Chini didn't have 2 years ago. He didn't have a brother, she was a he didn't have cheese. Now, the Chini sitting also, and that about only cities she would they are. Kada, she can't use a
So the next one is the principle of nature, or even though here is translated as nature. So another translation for this Tibetan word is reality. However, here it does not refer to the reality such as emptiness. So here is talking about the nature itself. For example, the natures that are well known in the world, such as heat being the nature of fire. So fire is hot, and then moisture being the nature of water. So water is wet, moisture, and etc. So even these even kids know about the natures that are well known in the world.
I think dinner probably change. Because was changed the social. She didn't talk to change now. Sanjo will change, change social. 我在这里，你定找不起你别求啊，你定找不起的话，是嘛？就简单点把它工作，对，肯定是公司肯定修啊，那么一般求啊，那么就是好吧，请别求啊，他这个身体没叫不请你说，他的，他身体没叫不请你说的，他对，他讲那个身体不应该把身体没叫的，是不应该把身体没叫，应该把身体没叫吧，是吧？他可能不是说今天吧，这把不送，不仅你这把身体没叫吧，等于远。那这把上就不晓得，只有把它上就不晓得那个被小朋友呢，那就三级你去看药是多吧，药是多的，这样嘛干净点，这样嘛，这样嘛干净点的，你去看药是多吧的，就是多的有多少钱，人是多的，
三个月
三级的，真的，人的情况给，你去看药是多吧的，你看药多吧的，这样嘛干净点的，你有多少钱，你个就是点我啊。他这里只能给你用啊，这四个对不起，意思在这里三个对不起，别小的。
So then the principle, So then the principle of nature, then the first principle of nature is to examine. The first one is the nature that are well known in the world, right? And the second one is the principle of nature is to examine inconceivable natures. So inconceivable natures are those inconceivable qualities such as those inconceivable natures such as inconceivable qualities of the enlightened activities of Buddha. So the enlightened activities of Buddha's speech, body, speech, and mind. So those are the inconceivable natures. So for example, Buddhas through the miraculous power can cause the whole world to manifest on top, on the tip of on top of the on the tip of a strand of a hair, on tip of a hair. Yeah. So Buddha, through miraculous power, can cause the whole world to manifest on the tip of a strand of a hair. On the strand of a hair. Yeah. On the tip of a hair.
他可能有很多情形呢，对，你把你再一共进修啊，
把你咋，
把你反正你是吧？上班上你说，
把你的，
我把你这个我然后你懂不懂啊？把你的，我有懂不懂啊？习惯了不？习惯了不？
还是懂吗？
把你的话，你读过的可能懂不懂啊？那你有用，他刚才
把你的牛骨的你拿出来懂吗？的是，
懂不懂啊？我在听到我背下来，俺这背，然后东北这里全球经常嘛，俺这今天看样子吧，听到我吃土吧，也就是点五连看的，是吧？
吃土吧的，我原来点土吧的，
点土吧的，你这里做的，我在那个上级不讲的群里是的，领导不讲的是吧？上级不讲群里说的，
你嘅牛骨拿出来懂吧的，拿出来样的点土吧，
我点土吧，
他说。So another example for this is Buddha's through the miraculous power can cause the whole world to manifest in the space inside the barley sprout. So the barley sprout inside is empty. So so Buddha's through miraculous power can cause the whole world to manifest inside that space.
他等在吉林不是上级不讲群里头我那个吉林不知道了是吧？我跟当里有个莫被经常了。我被听到了，大我就说，咱们有个听到了，你突然就去收入多少？但这上去不就听到我说我那多少？也就是听到我这个是很多的。
So another modern example for inconceivable natures can be something like, I say like the handphone. So then through the handphone, then you can see the whole world, right? So this is I say a modern example for the inconceivable nature. Yeah, so it will be the inconceivable natures for those scientists.
我的这个啊，可是的，看到群里里边这个送多少吧，那样的老毛病这个，看到群里里边说，跟咱们群上面的群念不清，我念不清的多啊，他念不清就缺他的这个东西，我们东北里面讲的那个，是吧？缺他的这个东北里面念不清是这个，
So in relation, the principle of nature in relation to the first one, so then using the word natures is fine. So then the principle of nature in relation to the third one, abiding natures, then these abiding natures refers to the emptiness on the basis of all phenomena.
我有他他妈这里边就是别写错吧，这个里边写错吧，他这个我说读过的，他看到那个比方说你嘛读过书啊。 主要是主要受到低说，里边主要是你主播的看到是吧？送的嘛就是送的多，也主播的你给我送的嘛，有的送是吧？也主播的送过的嘛些地嘛些是吧？
你别去你那点我你得去你的是有了意思了。
啊，
点我你得去你，
我来是的，
那说，
我听说的。
那说。So then the principle of nature in relation to the third one, abiding natures, then this this refers to the emptiness. So you can also translate this word to, so you can also interpret this word nature in relation to the third one as reality.
我当年主播的话，
嗯，
这个说实话，
yeah.
你主播的搞是多呢，那你现在现在听见吧，这到我是这说这是我话，这是我们说的话。
So through the sixfold presentation in this way, then there are three objects to be known by a yogi, the meanings of expressions, the varieties of objects of knowledge, and their ultimate modes of being. So these six modes can be included in these three.
当不王的心呢，是吧？当不是吧？那你这样的，我的心里话都说的，都能嘛心里当不，当说是这个话，你说这说是是吧？你说这说当不是吧？你说是，看到的，当不的起是吧？
So the first inquiry. So first inquiry refers to the inquiry into meanings. Yeah. So the first inquiry into meaning, is posited in terms of the first object.
那等到这个话，那个点说的那是这个点，给他他说这个点说的那个，我同不说啊？当不我听的说当不我是说啊，说当不的，他说当不的看到的话，点说话是对象我的话，那个点是，他那个点的看的人那么多，给出来的是吧？比较今年吧，比较我就那个点的话，这个那个点的，那个这个点的，他说的是吧？他说这个点的。
So the first inquiry refers to the inquiry into meanings, then is posited in terms of the first object, and first object refers to the meaning of expressions. So here is the first one is included in the first object, which is the meaning of expressions. So the meaning of expressions also means that it is a search of meaning of the words.
但你比我的心呢，对现在听你我是对吧？你比我的心呢，那你不错的啷个？心说是你的多，不错的你的多，
我不能轻易。
我的心你的多，我不错，心说是你的多的时候。
The inquiry into things and the inquiry into defining characteristics, which are the second and third types of inquiries, then these two types of inquiries is posited in terms of the second, the varieties of objects of knowledge.
他讲到这里，你比我是错的，你要经历个长，像经历个长的进度，这个说的经历个长，那肯定都是，这我的现在那不错啊是，我的题目你这个写过是吧？你这个经历都忘了写吧，是吧？经历不到我你说的你写过啊？但现在的经历比别，反正从随便查看是吧？经历不长，是吧？现在经历个长期他肯定都是。那你说的也是是吧？
你旁的lập咗咯，加粗咗吧？
那是像咱那个是去除了什么的，除了什么，他们的出来了不，是吧？有些吧，别人些吧，是吧？等忙不出来是吧？我等你，
你现在今年被弄到了，
现在弄到了，我现在你弄到了，你弄到是对的，
今年yeah. So then the inquiry into things and the inquiry into defining characteristics is posited in terms of the second, which is the varieties of objects of knowledge. So here basically is the search of the varieties of the objects and also the limits of the objects of knowledge.
所有的所有的工作，我给经理说了，也是我经理，就是说说让他那，让我给你看，让我的啊，你现在的话，我的写的你把老师把他你忙不出来的话，让我了，我提出来也是。让个经理知道不对？让个经理记经理你的我了，让个经理做的，让我的你把它写了是吧？是的。
So then here the inquiry into defining characteristics refers to the specific characteristics. So the specific characteristics of a certain phenomena. So it talks about the nature of it, the functions of it, and etc.
다 somba 들어와. 다 somba 기타와 들어와. 기타와 들어와 다 간 들어오잖아. 다 하마서. 다 하마서도 가잖아. 다 좋아. 유수와. 리파스와 디스와. 좋아. 디스와. 리파스와 디스 들어와. 하마 디스. 또 리파. 유쇼. 리파. 리파 들어와. 뭐 디스는 기타와세 지미와 시. 들어와. 기타와 신이다. 디오.
So the remaining three with so the remaining three refers to the inquiry into category, into time, and then the search into reasonings. So these three and the inquiry into general characteristics are considered in terms of the third one. So the third one refers to their ultimate mode of being.
소야된 거도 리스트다. 지진이 좋아서 디시지 쇼로. 이런 진이 좋아도 노사로와. 지진이 좋아다. 지진이 그런 진이데. 길을 찾기 다음에 돈 많이 나서 와. 됐다. 어디서 좋아해. 좋아.
지라可以开。
我这个찾기 다음에 봐. 뭐 나서 봐. 我到底是哇，就是说题。这到我这边有啊，我这边写的。
And the inquiry into general characteristics. So those are the general as it talks about the general characteristics of phenomena, such as being empty and selfless.
他的写这个，他把这什么也得嘛多，你说，他也得来看他，这个看他，多给了过世的都是事情多，他看他错，是吧？看他错一档，过世的都是嘛，写个多是吧？
The four special insights explained first have three gates and six modes of examination. Thus, the three doors and the six search modes are included in the initial four.
他刚才习惯的送，不能走的送的，过世的主要是他会进入是。那我们是，比如啊，看到看到很多习惯的，他个习或者送你哪些的话，习惯的送的也是。错误的走的送的，过世的主要都我的，他们这样说也是，那是呢，对电子送些，其实那是空气学啊，不是对吧？
特别明白点多。
我看你需要我，能办结吧？那能办结吧？能办结吧？那能办结吧？要用是多吧？用是结吧是需要啊，不定了。能办结吧？
能办结吧？
那能办结吧？是看看你啊。通过的，就这个。이게 뭐야? 이게 뭘 맞아서. 이게 이게 봐야. 한번 좀 이봐. 당분에 한번 뒤치 당분신에 보내는 소리서 맞아. 와. 넘버 집은 진이 받아. 몇 넘버 집은 지다는 거. 요스도 못 집어 지도 어디 시도 이시도 이시는 어떻게 그래서 뭔가 맛이 어디 두고 돼. 딸기가 맛이는 그래서 뭐라.
That's all. So the four special insights explained first. So the four special insights refer to differentiation, thorough differentiation, investigation, and analysis. So these four special insights explains first have three gates and six modes of examinations. So these are included in these four special insights.
那过数的趋势，咱那些我们对吧？咱今天也是，那就为什么需要去看到，对吧？一些住的看到的话，一些是多，一些，要这个呢，前实在吧，一看到病的就有一些，切心就有一些，切不动就有一些，病的就有一些，是吧？病的就有一些，切心就有一些，切不动就有一些，看到病的就有一些，那个呢，草莓就有一些是那个等于，我说哇。我的一些需要啊，对新一个的写不东西，但很多人一些习惯有点是那对东西，但因为我写很多习惯，一些习惯，一些习惯就这个很好的，那么新一个写在吧，
没意思，是对，拉上了， So then Stravaka levels teaches that the 4 types of attention that were explained above, tight engagement and so forth, common to both shamatha and special insight. So the tight engagement that we have learned before in the context of calm abiding. So the 4 types of attentions are tight engagement, interrupted engagement, uninterrupted engagement, and effortless engagement. So these are common to both shamatha and special insight.
연대 실무가 있다고 하는 이슈가 실무입니다. 실무가 승리 부가가 시사레스. 실리가 승리 걸 말이 바 자타지와 승리 걸 말이야. 그때 다디 안데 실무이스와. 자국이.
That's all. So regarding the 4 types of attention, I have already mentioned it in relation to the 9 stages of mental abiding, so I will not further explain it. So therefore, the 4 attentions are also present in special insight.
다디 올라가서 숨바 세지 숨바 원바 너무 담아내는다. 그와. 그다. 이 월마딘 더 군대에서 지와. 고소 좀 도마는 거와. 다지 받이다. 봐. 이거 정말 아무도 공부 공부하는 그런데 인바치다 공부하는 것이 좀 마음에 쓰는 요리에서 아무 연다들 가르쳐서 아무 신이다 하더니 요와 공대에 숨겨라. 오 신이다 하더니 요와. 이들 한도니들 아무 얘기해서 한다고 그래. 얘기해서 한다고 해야 돼. 한다 마시오 이제 너 정말 뭐지? 이제 뭐다 됐어. 아 상사다. 이제 리딩이다. 와. 까말라게 수 정말 이게 좀 정말 그 수를 예술로. 와. 공부 신이고 이거 또 얘기해서 한다고 그래. 와. 공부 신이 먹고만 한도 지도 말해서 와. 신이 공내에 이거 밖에로. 또 신이 또 얘기해서 한다고 말해. But no, she wanted to see yes, so
that's all. So next topic is uniting shamatha and special insight. Then how to cultivate special insight. And the first one is the meaning of the statement that special insight is cultivated in reliance upon shamatha. And under this outline, it says that the Unraveling the Intent Sutra says that special insight should be cultivated later after shamatha has first been accomplished. So basically, it says that one should accomplish calm abiding first, then special insight. And this is also stated similarly in many other instructions, such as those by the Venerable Maitreya, Tanga's Bodhisattva levels and Shravaka levels, those of Bhava Viveka and Shanti Deva, Kamalashila 3 volumes of stages of meditation, and Rana Karashanti instructions on the perfection of wisdom.
What do you want to know about Chima? 뭐 지내봐 너무 지내봐 지내봐 지내지 이제서 이 다음에는 이제 뭐도 somebody 되는지 보여 말했어 좋아 예 제가 다음에 아무 해보는 지내도 이제서 그 다음에는 한도 좀 예 쇼는 뭐 그래서 좋아 예 정말 한도 또 한도 지금 말했어 근데 이 많이 쓰고 올 것이 좋아.
So the intended meaning of this text is not that special insight is understood as just maintaining the observations of selflessness after previously generating the shamatha that observe any object without observing the meaning of selflessness. So meaning that the intended meaning of this text is not saying that one should first accomplish calm abiding by observing the varieties, and then one generate special insight by observing the meaning of selflessness. So this is not the intended meaning of this text.
그래서 어쨌든 나시 뭐라고 다시 그런 데가 지금 생각한데봐 종합 이슈고 나를 같이 기든 그거래서 그게 뭐 군도 비치라는 신이도 얘기서 그따와 오늘 변화해 대신에 한국 지분에서 이 변화를 되면 해서 네 내가 많이 제가 시간이가 미국에 제가 요 말해서 많이 기대들와 신에다 한도는 미국에 제가 요 말해서 미국에 제가 메와서 그때 제가 걔네 맞다다 그런 말해서 따라가와 이 걔네고나 신에다 한도는 미치가 샤고도와 이봐 제가 샤고다 걔네 말을 너무 군도 제가 미리 신에도 대기서 제가 왔는 한국 신에 제가 미리 제가 샤고도와 지금 시간이가 미리 제가 요 말해서 방금 신에 가서 미국 시신이와 이봐 남녀 보내봐 제가 남녀 보내봐 와 너무 남아져 있는 봐. 이름이 봐. 이거 이거 시시와 그 시간 우리가 한번이가 이빠치바시야 이빠치바치자 이빠치요 에스테가 그걸 제가 연구했어요.
So even though this is asserted by those earlier scholars saying that one should first accomplish calm abiding by observing the variety and then generate a special insight by observing the meaning of selflessness or the modes. So however, this is not the intended meaning of the text because calm abiding and special insight is not differentiated by means of the objects of observations. So previously we have talked about the four types of observation, such as the object of observation for the skillful ones, and object of observations of the pervasions. Then these four types of objects of observation are similar for generating calm abiding and special insight.
然后在那边我等你七八万一个就这个，当然都蛮农场新奇面的，我把他们你看不多啊，你看这种企业很多你看到，叔叔在一公里对吧？你哪去买？哎妈的，像那你把也是吧，对吧？我到七八下我等你一个人七八买的，那新奇面搞是呢，甚至你多也行我了，甚至你多了米呢，这个他们今年多，那今年是你把这个几个行行吧，你把这个几个人，他们是你到这个你。또 대라는 내 계속 그래도 바로 이거였어. 내가 그래서 이신을 말할 때
Pero.
원해 시키 내가 좀 보러 수아야 돼 봐. 이거 찔러드는 간다 그라지다 제일 내서 보러. 그래서 대바데 그거를 지금 진행할 내게 대기에서 그랬다 와는 무슨 연재 그 식으로 미자는 미바 제가 가가는 거였어. 근데 미바 제가 요 말했어. 미바 제가 이제는 기시 나가 나와. 무슨 일도 없어. 뭐 태어나는 시기도 진짜 제대로 미바 대가로 하면 하고 야 때마다 봐봐 더미고 대가로 진내발라 아 스네도 진내발 좋아 이게 중에 나도 아 진내발 다른 간다 뭔가 지야 좋아 시라지 넘어지 하고서 너무 좋아 하는 거 찌를 놓게 시고 어떤 미바 찌려면 대신에 하면 다 오늘 했지 누구 해서 대가는 하다 그렇지 그래서 미바 미쳐봐 전에 누구야 이렇게 잘 말했어 너로 와
So this is because shamatha and special insight are not differentiated by way of their object. So if shamatha and special insight were to be, if shamatha and special insight were differentiated by way of their object, then the assertions by those earlier scholars saying that one should first generate calm abiding by observing the variety, and then one should generate a special insight by observing the mode or the selflessness, then that would correct. However, this is not that is not the actual way. So because shamatha and special insight are not differentiated by way of their objects, and this is supported by quotations from instructions on the perfection of wisdom. This explains that after observing suchness, the emptiness of duality between subject and object, and upon generating shamatha, you generate special insight through analytical meditation, observing the same object. So you generate the shamatha by observing the suchness, and then you generate the special insight by observing suchness. So the object is the same. So then Aya Asanga also discusses special insight that observe things in their variety, saying that after shamatha has been generated, and then a special insight with peaceful and cause effect is activated. So basically here is saying that one should first generate the calm abiding and then followed by a special insight. And these two, calm abiding and special insight, are not differentiated by way of their objects. The object can be the same.
그때 누가는 아주 신나니까 제파니까 서먹을 주모도 한 소리에서 뭐라 예수
Oh yeah. So and then moreover, he says that it is a path common to both non-Buddhists and Buddhists, as well as to ordinary beings and Aryas.
따뜻한 말이다. 따뜻한 말 다른 데서는 이걸 그렇게 씹어. 신이 가서 신나서 제가 못 들었어요. 신이 토마 두비스나 이파들랑 가서 서로 찍기도 또 뭐마도 김치야 말했어.
공다기 라인에 빼나까지나 되게 신에디 공비가 많이 돼야 상계 된바데라 미네 신에 dum네 아니 대제라 양 가사데 쪽제기 쪽제 땡기 동반이데 미네 发动的比较点容易有呢。
等到的就那么说，是为是为个人嘛，对嘛的是，
ini dia satu dua lah. Satu. Cisa ini dia mipa ini dia cipa cika ina yang tigre. Mipa cila cipa cika ina tigre loa ina yang tigre.
미pa 그래서 당부 제랑 요라. 당부
Tambo
제는 당부 시내 그 시기라 미 이게서 이제 우리 동반이 다음에 들리지라 미네 시가 두고 하고 두고 말해서 이 두고 말을 저 하고 만는 거 요라. 지금 와.
Cisa ini dia mipa de cipa cika yang jingkore. Cipa cika maina yang tigre.
좋네. 재림이 될 거가 뭐였어? 이빨이 와. 이빨.
Dia rimba dia ka.
이빨에 이빨 고 말해.
Saso.
그거는 때마다 신랑이가 이빨 가 치마 잡는 거였어. 이빨을 치마 잡는 거였어. 그거 말이라고.
한지 도바스야 쌈.
이래. 도바스 야뭐.
지 그거나 그거만. 네.
이빨에
지미. 이거는 거.
그들이 그거는 나서 신이 됐다. 아 신이도 토마 루비 치나 anda mi patala si ya ko ti ba ma do na sa ti pa chi ya yo ma re ti pa chi yo ma da ma tala shi do ti shi ne ba sta ma do sa do.
So the next one is that being so, it is inappropriate for someone who has not attained shamatha and who is newly accomplishing it to not practice placing the mind single pointedly, but instead practice analyzing diverse aspects of his objects of observations.
다시 가는 앞에 알와 나 기니 스타도 마도 봐 사도도 나다 미바 강지라 차례데 두고 마도 이런 게 미바 앞에 예 빠지는 대신에 이제 지야 두고 말이에서 와 이 두고 말이다 내가 너무 들이와 너무 신이 지와라 너무 신이 있었다 에 다스도 에 근데 제가 제사를 기셔야 예 무슨 식구들 야 무슨 식구들 소다 쓰다 간이 수수 간이 또 야 생각해 봐 다서로 와 다자 지라 소리소리 지라 내도를 비세를 데라 보다다 니 바지 마도 비세 토마토에 비세들라 이 파스마 파에 안 잡다 제버지야 스키버지야 이거 많이 쓰고 그러고 제 토마토 비세 어떻게 시시고요 예 야 가서 신이 누가 오늘 다보는데 신이 이 파스 가니 좀 찌마지 그렇게 시시고 만다 어디 토마토를 세 이 비세가 제버지야 이거 많이 쓰고
So it is inappropriate for someone who has not attained shamatha and who is newly accomplishing it to not practice placing the mind single-pointedly on whatever objects of observation it may be, and to instead practice analyzing diverse aspects of his objects of observation. So when one is newly accomplishing come abiding, then one should place their mind without doing much analysis. So, however, it doesn't mean that one shouldn't analyze the aspects of the object of observation. For example, when you want to newly accomplish come abiding, then if you have chosen a Buddha image, for example, then we first analyze the form of the Buddha and etc., the colors of it and etc. Then you place your mind, when you enter into meditation, then you place your mind single pointedly on the objects of observation without doing much analysis.
같은 걸로 말도 양가지도 지시와 또 신이 더 차게 되지와 신이 수도 신이 더 차네 이줄을 또 같이 차이 제라 신이 되라가 뭐 제대잖아 야된 지금 예서고 그와 인 지금 뭐 되면 되는 신이 되라야 뭐 치는 것도 뭐 했어 신이 되는데 그와 신이 되야 앉아서 또 칠때 뭐 치는 신이 더 차와 더 차이 제라 내가 넘바시네 야 되지라 제가 못을 했어 하고 와 제바지 수도 베치는데 제바지 니 제바지 와이나 제바지 제바 대 또지 야 니네 니바지 다운 기니데 인게스 니바치 그래서 니바치 잘 해서 와 니바치 노래 첸노래 해서 너도 뭐 사진 주사이다 와
So then if instead of extending your earlier habituations to mere placement meditation, so placement meditation is also translated as civilizing meditation. So here it talks about here that being so, here it talks about if one wants to newly accomplish come abiding, then if instead of extending your earlier habituations, here talks about you have already achieved come abiding, then if you only extend your earlier habituations to mere placement meditations, and this is not proper as well, because the power of your stabilizing meditations will not grow stronger. So instead of just doing just extending your habituations to mere stabilizing meditation, then one should one should do analysis. And then due to the power of analysis, it will increase the power of come abiding.
That will not about the such about the wa. About the normal to shijari. After Dodo the Garnesna, also the wa. She need a hundred gata. The Randa, but David of Chilapin, she named. Oh, not to live with Tosa. I make Chilamini. She need home because of they can't. Why she need the wa. And you meet Chilamini. That Dami Terraro, she need home. She need she need you but from the car, don't typical. Melanie, Chihuahua, Mochivachi. And the Mochi, but not seeing no, friend of it. Joy years the years. You are the only Mamma Lamine. Korani, she need a hundred nickel, don't down the matter. Yes, but what? Don't down the matter. I mean, see the children. Woman to Banashi, see any day as well. 그 오만 대반하시 모임이 받던 비시 상담 비해서 뭔가 무스장 거였어. 아, 한번 세워드기 이보다 깨버치는 거였어. 깨버치. 나 그거는 이빨지 이제 그 정도 된다고. 그래서 와, 어디래 이제 봐. 이 실적이지.
So the way to accomplish it is to first seek shamatha and then afterward cultivate a special insight. So here it talks about one has already achieved calm abiding, then by observing one object of observation, such as selflessness, then one engaged in the stabilizing meditations. Then the way of sustaining the stabilizing meditation would be the mind and the objects of observations are like the water and milk. So your mind single-pointedly focus on the objects of observation are like the water and the milk mixed together. Then by observing the same object, selflessness, then one engaged in the analytical meditations when one wants to cultivate special insight. Then one cultivates special insight by analyzing the same object of observation, which is selflessness in this context. This example, then one analyze it. So even though, and then the way of sustaining the analytical meditation would be doing analysis. So even though the object of observation is the same, in this example is selflessness. However, their way of sustaining the meditations are different. One is by one way of sustaining a meditation for stabilizing meditation is like the water and milk, and then the way of sustaining the analytical meditations is by doing analysis.
나 그거 지다 가서 사실 오르마 그거 시행이와 그거도 그다 시간 한지들 하고다 아미는 그 상도니까 괜히 이거 주게 되십니다. 와. 그 시간 한지 상도다. 그게 분이와 괜히 이거 주고 막 되시면서
시라당 다음에
시간 한지 그것이다. 아까 이거는 그거지다. 다음에는 상도 니시오와 와 괜히 기다 쳐버지. 그죠? 이거 치
And in particular, the requirements for the arising of. So here talks about there are two types of special insight. The special insight having the aspects of peacefulness and coarseness, and the second one is the special insight having the aspects of selflessness. So here it talks about the difference between these two types of special insight in terms of which mind has a strongest, which mind is more powerful.
이나 다 너무 좋아하는 거야. 比牛毛的看过嘛，牛毛肯定在找你，那个找你共同要嘛，是吧？共同要嘛。那你不了，那没有干嘛？你的书本的限制结巴起来，你的很多点很多点，你知道了，点不的意思。点帮家牛毛嘛，牛毛稍微的结巴，我不去了，你不去了，不的。放松个牛毛稍微的结巴的话，放松个牛毛稍微的结巴，关于你不去了的，不去了，不的，也是我。但是这两天很多时候呢，看我们别个老师发他，看我们有的是有的单的，你阿拉滚多，我来的我们哪怕带一个呢，对，这个教的，你但这边你们工作的公务员，你们工作公务员的，那你们公务员嘛，你们找你们公务员，是吧？我的确吧，也是个
tapi namjing gi ladong ina de jiten le debe ladong ro
啊，
tapi namjing gi ladong ina de jiten le debe ladong
嗯，好多结果就应该是吧？
na de tapi
那咱
namjing
们这
gi
个行当是
ladong ina
共同的说了，不知道共同的，咱们这个行当可能也就是呢，我们个领导是交的了，有了不了，就忘不了，咱们这个可能有的话，就是多半吧。
So, in particular, the requirements for the arising of a strong and stable statement are the cultivation of the special insight that has the peaceful and coarse aspects of individually distinguishing the faults and excellent qualities of higher and lower realms. So here it refers to the the mundane special insight. So which is by seeing the qualities of higher realm and the coarseness of lower realms, such as the desire realm. So by doing so, then one will be able to abandon the manifest afflictions of the desire realm. So even though if you cultivate this mundane special insight by seeing the quality of higher realm or upper realm and seeing the coarseness of a lower realm, such as desire realm, then one is able to abandon the manifest afflictions of desire realm. However, one is unable to abandon those afflictions from the root. One is unable to root those afflictions. However, by cultivating special insight, having the aspects of selflessness, then one will be able to abandon the afflictions of three realms together with their seeds.
나도 오늘 맞지 디마다. 나 디마다 간다 데로와. 아 진님만 하는 게 한국 공도 요 얘네 기야 와. 내가 진님만 하도 간다 칸고말라 비다 요.
시라
어디 어디 신야 가르쳐 진님만 하도 되다 너무 먼저 본 지를 만지지 공부도 마시지 마세요. 이거 취사로 와.
시라단 담이 마세
진님만 하도 와. 그 신시 내가 다 중기가 재미가 서로 넘어지는 제고 열에서 제공 열에서 대이 수행을 나중에 다 넘어지 꼭 잡아야 돼. 와, 잡아야 돼. 이식으로 와.
So here it talks about besides the special insight I mentioned beside the two types of special insight mentioned just now, the special insight having the aspects of peacefulness and coarseness, and the special insight having the aspects of selflessness. So beside these two types, and there are other types of special insight. So the special insight that observe things in their variety is not merely the meditation that has a peaceful and coarse aspect for the sake of eliminating manifest mental afflictions. And then in the instructions on the perfection of wisdom is also the analytical meditation that thoroughly differentiates the characteristics of the 18 elements. And then from this illustration, then you should know that there are other types of special insight.
다만다 이미 지금도 지시 명화를 한다. 지시 명화를 제다오는 싫어하니까 싫어하니 지금부터 전념하는 와. 나중에 사이 난 제가 그거 너무 해서 지시운도 늘 이제 말해서 나가 와. 이게 말해서 근데 시와라다 까말라 길어서 이제 봤다. 이 간혹 지금도 되게 되게 한번 제보래. 맞아. 그러니까 진행방을 내가 한번 이담해야지. 이들한테 제다월 지나니까 제일 제가 되게 좀 말해서 되게 식으로 와. 이 말해서 제다월 한번 이게 말해서 여기 말해서 지금 어디 다시 오늘 까말라 길어서 봐. 이문도 배신이 바로 지지에 한도 지종을 해마도 이 보는 시간은 이시 명어서 가만히 말해서 한번 기간이 이문도 진행바람이 내가 시간이 제방도 시장하세요. 그러고 시간 제방은 시작돼 이나시 말해서
你名字等到了的米呢，那的是了第二点马咯，那的是那个告诉，他们那的是那个的是对于那点米不抗洪去了，讲给土了，那的些了，
这个学习蛮了，很多，
嗯
到了没学了，你他说你结巴了，我今年把那个我的这个也是，你学过吧？这不嘛的，你看我去，你不光这个心搞都接的，你来说啊，学完了个地了，你搞都记，这个对对，他们进来就有也是，这个他们进来也是个，然后可能你说我吧，学完你个他们今年嘛，这第一就是很知道了，那那个是我吧，也把这是，你接着我是。
Yeah. So instructions on the perfection of wisdom explains that before you generate shamatha and special insight and observe the ultimate modes of being, you must first generate shamatha and special insight on the level of the yoga that observe things in their variety. Means that in the instructions on the perfection of wisdom says that before you generate abiding and special insight that observe the mode, then you must first generate abiding and special insight that observe the variety. So, however, this is not the way. So, and here it says that it follows assertions of Kantideva, Kamalashila, and so forth. Then any kinds of, so here it says some kinds of shamatha. So any kind of shamatha is developed first. So, uh, yeah. So any kind of shamatha is developed first, and then a special insight is developed. 本来就是那啲啲自己考公司寫啲，因為啲其他話諗咩嘢，人哋啲專業話諗咩嘢，講啲咯，但係自己考公啲嚟嘅嘢，跟住啲嘢啦，
지다와는 신이가 한도 니가 제발라 너무 지내발라 신이가 한도 니가 뭐 제고 해서 네 한번 들어도 뭐 말해서 네 담보 신이가 가르치려 비나 신이 제자 되라 때때들 한도 네 가다 뭐 제고 해서 제게 인지미 담보 지다와는 신이가 한도 니 제발라 아프 지내발라 신이가 한도 니가 제고 뭐 말해서 뭐 말해서 니가 가르치려 비나 신이 제자 되라 한도 제거 해서
also. Yeah, so the assertions of Shantideva, Kamalashila, and so forth are unlike what is mentioned in the instructions of perfection of wisdom, saying that that says you must first generate shamatha and special insight that observe things in their variety. Then you generate shamatha and special insight that observe the mode. So, however, this is not necessary. So the assertions by Shantideva Kamalashila is different from that, saying that any kind of shamatha, so any kind of shamatha refers to shamatha that observe the mode or variety. So it must be developed first, then you generate a special insight. So the paths of which vehicle Mahayana or Hinayana this system relates to. So now does this sequential approach to the generation of shamatha and special insight so relate to Mahayana or Hinayana, sutra or mantra? So here there is a doubt or there is a qualm in relation to this order of generating abiding and special insight.
小记，你研究的送的话，也送嘛，也送也送的话，不好意思，也得那个那些对吧？什么？那个把多少个咱们把它训练也是啊，是吧？你送到多少个话，这个人就是这么训练也是，是吧？
Ya di palo du chimbe ti chima ni ne di pachin teba da nga ge nga ge teba. So then the answer is it is common to the vehicles of Sravakas and Pratika Buddhas, to the vehicles of the perfections, and to the vehicles of perfection, also the vehicle of the mantra. So in fact, for each of the four tenet system, so in my great treatise on the stages of mantra, I have already explained the assertions of individual tantras and their great commentators to the effect that it is similar for the three lower classes of tantras as well. So it's not only that it is common to Sravakas, Pratika Buddhas, two vehicles of Mahayana, the two divisions of Mahayana vehicle, the vehicle of perfections and the vehicle of mantra. So the vehicle of mantras then is similar to the three lower class of tantras.
다들 얼마 전에 디디 수원 다와 신도와 디디 수원 다와서 다 디디 오마스 이제 신도래. 아 샤지디 렌저지 스쿨라. 예. 다 간다 싫어 인기도 제바. 레시나 알라미가 간다. 신 한도 미빠 지라미 다 dinam도 지야 이거 레서 도와. 알라미나. 다. 지라미 대신 한도 니 빠른 집 제고. 레스. 예. 지가 되죠 이거 레서. 어디 봐 제가 샤야 된다. 그와 이 디디소 이게 오마서 나와서 지게 수원 나와서 대다 로가에 계시대. 라미를 봐. 이거에 되려. 그러나 라미라 간다. 아, 이거 지라면 신이 한 번이 이제도 지원이 받은 같이 제가 너무해요. 막 예스로.
So it's also common to the vehicle of the perfections and the vehicle of the mantra, in particular, the vehicle of mantra of the three lower classes. So the three lower classes refers to the action tantra, performance tantra, and yoga tantra. So, and then the highest yoga tantra is not included here, saying that, meaning that for all these Sravakas, Pratika Buddhas, vehicle of the perfections, and the three lower tantras, then one should generate shamatha first, and then special insight later. So in this order. However, for highest yoga tantra, that is not included here. There is a way to simultaneously generate calm abiding and special insight by observing one object without needing to generate calm abiding and special insight in this particular order.
다들 오늘 라미 렌저스 뭐 미빠 시오디. 다들 뭐 미빠 시오디와. 아 간다. 디스트 전다 도도 들이셔. 소는 마 시오디. 아 간다. 니도다. 맞아 그 다음에다. 주 다음에. 전다 도도 뒤에서 가자고. 뭐로 와.
니동왕.
니도. 그러나 시오디. 뭐 간다 그 다음에. 니도 됐다. 니도 됐다라고. 간다 그 다음에 또 맨날 주 시다 뭐. 니도 또 니도 시다리. 산니 니도 시다니 봐. 다 오니도비 니도 시다리 서서 와서 잡아. 니도 시다 선바.
지산이 니동 강사기 담에당 추기 담에이나 미바데
미바데 당부 강사 담에로 와서 당부 니도 시다 당부데 강사 담에도 니도 시다. 니도 시다 니바데 니도 도비 니도 시다.
니동 디사니바
니도 시다 니바
숨바데
아니 시다마다 다 취담에서
추기 담에
이거로 와. 담에도 니도 시다. 다데 예수나 하다 신이바 요리스 오라가 나도도 시 예수나 미니 이시네가 한도 그야.
디숨 앙룽지 라미네
다데 그런 송 요리스
디숨 라미네
디 요리스 너로 와.
디숨 라미네 시간 앙룽게 인거 말아
딱 가고 또
디숨
불러 와.
한국 라미네 니지시
지시 와.
닌조 비싸 진짜식 yeah. So the level of the yoga. So the level of the yoga, there are three. So the level of yoga that the first level of yoga, the first level of yoga, realizing the selflessness of person, and the second level of yoga, realizing non-duality, emptiness of duality, and then the third level of yoga, realizing the selflessness of phenomena. So these are the three levels of the yoga. So the first level of yoga, realizing the selflessness of person. The second one is realizing the emptiness of duality. And the third one is realizing the selflessness of phenomena. So by observing any of these three objects, the objects refer to those selflessness and the emptiness of duality, then there is a way to, the calm abiding and special insight can be accomplished.
What will more be just somebody will go. Let me just go. Let me just watch you. That's what usually the people let me that's all in that. Which are people may be shut. I'm not storing as a kid shame. That they do more shame of what you are. And then I said, ship. Or the ship. How can that shame machine? That's umi. Men let me get the person. Tawas was it. Tawa give it another umi unit on a sheet. Yes, Tawa said umi unit, Tawa Timothy, Tawa Bosky, or Marisol. The Tawa Tilla, some of them had a go with you. Without only doing that. Tawa the umi unit, the Tawa Timothy, lost Tawa Kio Maris. That in the journal day, cheering the Zori, Jetojika, Gashi Tekonomy, leadership of your chance. That Lila knew to me, you got to be Zori in Amshada, Tekonomy, Joanna. To the Chani Bombaji, which are unto which you bring in one of the rockets. That day, indeed, that leader the rock. Only hearing the origin, the Pujinekas. Roa, hearing that, only the cheering the origin, the Tojika Gahido, the Konamina, Chile, Kepashiva. Kepachi and Matu Jibuskas, Jibuskas, Kepachi, Roa, Kepayajan. That little pandemic, that's what position was more spiritual. But that was much person being the Batada, but the chicken dollar said, that is that. But you know, she, we but we need the most at the but la Pacifica, which I think she will or Toby. You didn't join it, but the Namjado, the economy, Joanna, I told the Shani home at the Boreas, and to be Jacon, Shunkin, one, yeah, your money, yes, any bit, Namjadaba, is killing to Boreas, yes, 따도 use one.
따도 샤네
따도 샤네
고바세 데리디 조고
조고와
주어치야 요마 스테이크
그 장난 뭐 예스 그 안도 제고 용인에 좋아하다는 것이 제고 예스 조신이 좋아하는 것이 제고 말해서 아마도 따도 있는 거 샤비가 와 샤비가 또 지샤고 예스 이 조신의 지금 제가는 지금 예스 와 얘네까지 제고 그게 샤다 따도네 지금 대판에 보면 많이 제고 지금 가라 Number Shabati Pa, Shamaro, and let you Marisura.
Need a new Mazat, any data Pima, Chindoa, any big Yokom Gicapsuro, Yamsha Capsuro. Any deal Capsu, the Juba, the Chiayomaro. Any digital Conda, any detainer, Cap tea, a Jigum Jobe Shala.
Oh, Jibu, Jobi Shala, starting at Chichi, Economy, over Juba. Konani, or my new cheese that take another typical Laura. Chimicala, they won't take the Chimio Marisura.
Jogum Chigioma. Okay. That's all. So that's all. Yeah. So here, with regard to highest yoga tantra, so as mentioned just now, it refers to the three levels of yoga that observe the three objects of observation, such as the selflessness of person and selflessness of phenomena. Then, teaching three levels of yoga, and then yeah. So and then our own position is that even in the context of Highest Yoga Tantra, one's method for developing an understanding of the view must be compatible with what appears in the Madhyamaka text. So in terms of generating an understanding of the view, then it must be in accord with the Madhyamaka text and not others. And then as for how it is maintained, there is analysis of and then mental attention to sectioners during some post-meditation phases of the generation and completion stage. So during the subsequent attainment or post-meditations of generation stage and completion stage, then one should do analysis. And then However, those practicing the completion stage who have attained the ability to penetrate vital points of the body, it refers to the meditative equipoise. So when one is doing the stabilizing meditations, then at that time, then one shouldn't do analysis. One shouldn't do analysis, and instead one should just place their mind on the object of observation. And nevertheless, yeah, so certainly must meditate, placing the mind within the view, maintaining the meditative equipoise on suchness. Nevertheless, they do not perform the analytical meditation or special insight the way it is presented in other texts. So therefore, at that point, do not stop your single-pointed meditation on suchness within the view when you stop analytical meditations. So, yeah. So, and then basically, when you're doing analytical meditations, then you do not do stabilizing meditations. And then when you are in the stabilizing meditations, then you do not do analysis.
당은 그 지리는 조리스 그 된다 그 신이 있던데로 아마 신이 그래서 이게 이름아 와 샤오다 오나 무슨 아시리와 다 이게 무슨 막 신이 이름이 있어.
So I'm not going to explain generation stage and completion stage since it is related to Tantra. So I will just leave it here for now. Leave it as it is for now.
나도 얼마 신이가 됐다와 신이가 됐다 한도 고증을 한다고 왔다 따와니에 보고 있지와 신이는 그거 고서 따와니에 보고 있지와 따와니 뭐서 왔다 다음에 따와 많이나 다음에 볼때 보는 시작 보는데 나 대권하는 뭐 믿니가 너무 말이에요. 대권하는 공부하다 담보 다음에 되게 지역을 되는데 그래서 되는데 맛이 봐 다음에 그 공부를 되리 감지 거기는 내가 공부 예스 다음에 되더라. 따와 니 그래서 따와 다음에 되나 나타나 되려면 간다 괜히 공부하나 담보 다음에 되는데 니 그래서
신이 공부이나 양로.
신이 공부.
담이 뒤튼 담이 담이 신이 사바디 주도요나 양 담보디 담이 뒤튼데 대대 신고로.
아니나 그러니 그
That's
따와 니 그래서
That's right. So the actual way to cultivate special insight in reliance on shamatha. So if you have not found the view of selflessness, then no matter what systems of meditation you perform, that meditation will not abide in the meaning of suchness. That is why it is necessary to find the view. So even if one wants to newly accomplish come abiding by observing the meaning, by observing selflessness, then one must first find the meaning of selflessness. So without having first found the meaning of selflessness, then even if you do the meditations, then that meditation will not abide in the meaning of suchness.
또 얼마 드시오다. 다 담보도 마 제공 다 제공니까 그래서 다 제공 뭐니까 좀 그래서 마시고 다 그래서 따이고와 간디 지어봐 이나와 따와서와 따이고와 간디 지어봐 여장 대고라니 공부스나 따와 대고라니 공부스나 따와데 제게 대인도 간다 세게 맞아 전 뭐구나 따와데 대고라니 뭐 시kin 말이었어 와 이게 봐도 세게 따와에 내가 신발이나 와 수업에 냠바 샤비잖아 세게 되게 돼도 하다 잡고 됐어 이게 전에 먹으면은 따고 누구 말했어 누구 말했어 뭐 따이 제가 차량에 따이 다 니네 지하면서 봐 이거 정말 좀 말했어 우리도 그다 아까 말했 돈이 한마디 되는 시 무슨 시 뭐 왜니 저기 따고 무슨 시 이거 그때 좀 뭐지 먹으면은 뭐 따고 고치 말했어 따고 시바이도 되게 말했어 와
So one must first find the view. Then if you have an understanding of the view but are not mindful of it and do not place the mind upon it during meditation on suchness, the latter will not be a meditation on suchness. So even if you have an understanding of the view, but if you do not you do not mindful of it when you are in the meditation on suchness, and then you do not place your mind on it as well, then it will not become a meditation on suchness. So therefore, placing the mind without reflecting on anything at the end of some little preparatory analysis of the view does not constitute maintaining suchness either. So even if you analyze the view, then when you actually enter into meditations, you do not place your mind on the understanding of the view, then it will not become a maintaining. It will not become it will not become a maintaining of meditation of. It will not become a maintaining of meditation on suchness.
我的到我的经验的话，根本你到我的心，到我的感到的心，我操心别了，到我的经验，到我第一天的，两百下面，两百下吧，我把看下结巴的，看看，哎，心里种子的，啊，也是吧。
我哋到我哋多，
到我
多你話正，
第一天种子的，放到心里种子的，第一天的，第一就是那也被把你看到结巴起来，在行头，行头结巴起来。我就是等你起来不也是，那对我嘛当然那个，别嘛接着别嘛有啊嘛，听我话当中。
同步啲到我哋多，呢啲呢把啲心理講未級數，呢啲到我嗰啲錢，
我是
呢啲錢呢
兩
咯，
兩
兩
把下，
把下，
兩把下呢，也是啊，兩隻，我對不起，
到我哋這把錢呢啲他東西啊，他說，
你，別嘛跟我是個，
So becoming mindful of the view and familiar with it by merely placing the mind within it also amounts to nothing more than the above method for maintaining shamatha. So first, sorry, I continue first. So hence, that is not the meaning of the text explaining a distinct method for maintaining special insight. So the way is first you find the view, then you have the understanding of the view, or you realize the view. Then then you cultivate special insight by being mindful of the meaning of the view or the understanding of the view, and then placing your mind on it. Then you generate special insight by analyzing the view.
在我这行头，也有实力，都是比中别马来是，现在对可能多啊，也有实力的行头，都是实力，别马来说的，那我做是，他们到我田里实力的，但那这个行头不是的话，到我的不才的，那到我的杨家辈，你来下来田里得了就把那里，那样没把得了把自己的，看着呀，新娘们就，就我的，心里多了。明白这里，今年生活得了，你把下午的心里懂了吧？
先你做為那啲呢工作那人那他通工作那，
常做个别，我就别别过年，我也别，原来了，我今年到我的钱，到我的钱里中，到我的钱里中呢，这是的，我也看，这两百少，这就两百少的，这今年工作的美国的话，这今年两百少的。
我講到人嘅其實啲人嘅數量同冇啲
到我的錢。
到我啲錢，
我的真的第一点的，到我的真的第一点的话，是自己的下面恐怕几百，的，但反正是自己的想法，都心里想过的话，
講乜切不啲，
我甚至在下面，
你心里工作咯，
我心里种子的话，
你啲好多你工作呢，
杭州就是当部门的，到我个700斤的，那是吧？到我700斤的，到我这个点的是200升200斤，升了200斤才给他，我要自己200上。
到我哋做乜錢呢？你哋到我哋團啲錢乜錢呢？
然后呢，的200斤，200斤呢，为了把自己的面把自己。
他通嘅工作，
到了到这样的，对吧？这个到这样的这个阶段吧。
到我錢呢？哦，
我到这样阶段。
其實你哋心理工作呢？你到我錢呢？你哋到我哋甚至要做乜嘢啲心理工作咯？你哋他通嘅工作呢？你哋到我做乜錢呢？到我熱團，
我到我200多塊錢，是放在那個公司給要買的。
到我哋你哋樣樣都做乜錢呢？
我這把錢我對了老司機，放到公司是給要買的時候。
你他通嘅工作咯。
他的公司咯。
So the modes of maintaining or sustaining calm abiding will be being mindful of the view, and then single-pointedly placing the mind on the view. And that is the modes of sustaining calm abiding. And the modes of sustaining special insight is the view. Similarly, the view is done by repeatedly analyzing the view. Then this is the modes of sustaining special insight, which is done by repeatedly analyzing the view.
나한테 오늘만 된다니까 집안이 없네고를 간단 조공다 신이 제공이가 그 빼말 제거 좋아 빼말 제거하자 이시우고 아 다음에 대나 그냥 시바나시 셔를 수수 제바제 보러 와다데 바지네 내 제바지네 제제부 지부시나 제바 등신에 지부 지부시나 나 지신이 토단 때만 하는 거래서야 이들만 하는 내가 제바 지부가 되잖아 좋아 나 지신이 토단 때만 하는 내가 요래서 신나버디 그러면 다 신이 신이네 따라서 또 신이 베스트 때문에 보자와 신이 간다 나 마음에 느껴지 시오데 가지고 와 뭐요다 뭐요다 신이다 세워다 마음에 간다 방도라 비서 신이 와 실제로와 뭐 되니 제원이 간다 이게 제원이 이 고집으로 신아 내가 집이 신이를 많이 하는 거지 신이 지 따라 진짜 신이 따라 지디 신이 진짜 많아 미제나 제가 예스 와 대만한 게 제바지 과바도 야반도 뭐지 신이 뭐지 뭐 니스니가 뭐 마냥비야 내가 나는 제바지 이때마도 그래마도
신의 만약에 나다 보래.
오 신이만 마냥비가 와 신이가 나 그냥 돼 마지막에 그거 찍어라 찍어주나 이게 만약이래서 와 나는 네 만약 지금 신이 세tem보다 요시비가는 미세tem보다 나마 찍어지네 이 요시비가는 좀 그래서 와 세tem보다 요시비가는 좀 그래 봐봐도 좀 하다 가다 버리버리가 야한도 버리버리가 신이 도시인가 빼맞은데 해서
So here talks about the need to alternate calm abiding and analytical meditation and stabilizing meditation. So here talks about the need to alternating, the need for alternating stabilizing meditation and analytical meditation. So that is why you should individually analyze the meaning of selflessness by means of wisdom, as explained above, then maintain it. If you only do analytical meditation, however, your previously developed shamatha will deteriorate. So if you only do analytical meditations alone, then even though if you have already developed shamatha, it will deteriorate. So therefore, you should mount the horse of shamatha, maintain analysis, and occasionally alternate it with placement meditation. So means that you have you have already developed calm abiding. Then after that you only do analytical meditation, your achievement of shamatha, your shamatha will deteriorate. So therefore, while doing the then so meaning that you should not focus on analytical meditation alone or shamatha alone, because by doing so then one of it will deteriorate. So you should alternate it. So occasionally then you do a single-pointed meditation, stabilizing meditation, and then occasionally you do analytical meditation. So then, and this abiding and special insight, I have explained the relationship between both of the necessity for having two of them, the calm abiding and special insight, with the example of the butter lamp and seeing the pictures on the wall clearly. So the immovability is the calm abiding, and the clarity refers to the special insight.
제고 많이 니차 출도 숨바이나 제고 많이 니차 출도 숨바이나 조고 많듯이 이거 많듯이 니차 봐 야보 디아 있어 야 진짜 tempo 디아 있어 그래서 뭐야 그 니차 tempo서 tempo 쓰다니 야보 쓰다니 야 조고 많다네 조고 많네 찌면 돼 봐라 찌면 돼 봐서 니 오라 찌니면 돼 봐 내려오니 제자 很多门也吧，虽然你家是很多呢，结果嘛的结果的，那结果嘛的是，其他那个的才能工的，过去了努力也是，是嘛？然后说说的，反正结果的，用我那个说说了，说说上但是现在当中我也是的，反正说说上是吧？对，但是，结果嘛的呢，人家穷多的呢，人家过嘛去，是吧？结果嘛去，你这把电波说。那时候呢，那如果嘛也建立门店法的话，如果嘛建立门店法的，就讲很多门店吧，3年下来，其实很多呢，也结果那的是结果那第一个结果节点，而且呢，强呢一个呢，看到现在很多你个都清楚，也是吧，你个门样吧，记得门样的也记得，哎，对，记得公平多，你也记得呀。你个公平多，我就是我记得我也是我，这把人家说别打包啥子上的时候我说，我你讲，看了多少工作，不能上错了，我天是吧？
Di tama saway na di kasi sina sa gitu wa yo right di na gitu lagi ini sini di mo di kong wa na di alhado di kong ay gitu wa di yo right di
你讲的什么呢？哦，我的等等钱多，咱多嘛，你讲那个中国全部他都不认识，我跑了几十年我都全部都不认识。嗯，
So then here it says that you should, as a occasionally alternate it with placement meditations. So more specifically, if the stability lessens because of too much analytical meditation, then what you should do is you should do more placement meditation, refresh the stability or restore the stability because the stability has already lessened because of too much analytical meditation. So then to balance it, then you should do to restore the stability, then you should do more placement meditation or stabilizing meditation. So if you do not really want to analyze, or you don't feel like analyzing because of too much placement meditation, or if despite analysis your mind is not fit to go anywhere, become engrossed in stillness, then you should do more analytical meditation. So if you don't feel like uh, doing analysis because of too much stabilizing meditation, then what you should do is you should do more analytical meditation to balance it. So to balance it in the means that before when you do analytical meditation, then before without halting the stabilizing meditation to reduce, then you cause the analytical meditation to increase. So when you do stabilizing meditation, then without causing the analytical meditation to decrease, then you cause your stabilizing meditation to increase, or you increase your stabilizing meditation in this way. So, and this, you should check it yourself. You should check yourself whether you are doing too much one of these meditations, stabilizing or analytical, and then causing another to become lesser. So if you notice that, then you should do the opposite.
사디오는 뭐 고리 기준 장고도 고리를 막 하러 내고도 고리 담말에 안도 고미 싫어 신도 제가 기도 뒤지나 신이 맞죠 얘를 총 얘 총은 거네 마음에 누가 샤바나시 마음에 누가 샤즈나 단다로와 세 요바 이바와 마음에 세 요와 이바 신고로와 마음에 누가 샤바 인도 세 요와 리치와이나 대권을 싸워 보고 말했어 or 한국 싸워 보고 말했어 오늘 싸워 보고 말했어 대이지나 대이지 싸움을 동안 대이지나 다 신의 내차서 그래서 대이지 신의 대모지의 공을 해서 그 신의 진짜 취야 어 진짜 말하나 영리네 그래서 이제 진짜 치다나 너 내신 치다나 너무 지고게 니 이거도 민아시 다 대코나니 말도 이거 와 대코나니 말도 이거 어 근데 이거를 대이지나 야 싫어 그래서 야 하고 이 시고로 어 나한테 소소를 안서 소소소소라 这不简单的，马路上，俺这边今天都说了，俺有但是这国家，是吧？不可能这边的他，是吧？但我是心里，你告诉心里上都是那我的话都，说不可能的呢，我从来不讲过的，就是讲律师讲不理解，他明白的，说千万关键的，说别我不要不被剩下的我的呢，要第一次参加的，要第一次参加的，就是朋友了，我到底是什么样当？ 目前平衡了什么是什么大，你要平衡什么大家当嘛就要跟你讲就是目前，这都是什么把都是这样的。
So since it is very powerful, if you cultivate both shamatha and special insight in continuous equanimity, so you should do it that way. So you do it this way in the continuous equality. So the third stages of meditation says shamatha weakens when cultivating special insight, causes wisdom to predominate. So cultivating special insight causes wisdom to predominate means that you're doing too much analytical meditation, then causes the shamatha to weaken, to become weaker. Then therefore, since the mind will flicker like a butter lamp in the breeze, we will not perceive suchness very clearly. So that is why you should cultivate shamatha at those times. So if your shamatha is weakened because of too much analytical meditation, then you should do more cerebellizing meditation. So likewise, whenever shamatha predominates, so means that you're doing too much stabilizing meditation, then you are like a sleeping person and do not see suchness clearly. So at those times, then you should cultivate wisdom, means that you should do more analytical meditation. So, oh, ya, tangi di kita lagi pe lawa di saya di pesan di lagi cuma cerita konda. So yeah, so means that we need to cultivate both calm abiding and special insight in a continuous equality in a balanced way. So you should not engage in any of it too much, causes the other one to become weaker. So and then Gisela mentioned the example just now. So if you only eat rice, then you will make your stomach to become bigger. So instead of eating rice all the time, then you should change your diet sometimes. Occasionally, then you should change your diet, then your belly then will become smaller. So mean, yeah, it's just kidding. Yeah, just kidding. So what Ishla is trying to say that is we should alternate the kind of analytical meditation and stabilizing meditation, and yeah, so then you should relate it to your as a you should check the situation yourself, whether you're doing too much or not. So if you find that you are doing too much of analytical meditation, for example, then your shamatha weakens, then you should do the stabilizing meditation. So even though here it says that you should alternate the stabilizing meditation and analytical meditations occasionally, however, these this method also applies to all types of meditation. For example, the cultivations of calm abiding. So if you applies to all meditations. For example, cultivation of bodhicitta. So if you cultivate the bodhicitta in the meditation, then occasionally, then you should think about the meaning, the benefits of a bodhicitta.
어디 올라가서 시바도 그래 시바로 어디 올라가도 뒤로 왔다 나 똑바 탄지 가도 똑바 탄지 그냥 아 인지되지 비숑한 거를 리고로 와 리가도 리고로 와 똑바 탄지 빈 진지 소다 예 제가 말했지 시다데 이거다 리고로 와
지공체요.
뭐 진리 중앙 진리 중앙的진리 중앙了똑바可以탄지 대반지나 대반지나 진지 소네 이 간다 대 뭐 단지 내가 챙기 무슨 이 등지 제발이나 대 뭐 받이 나는 되게 많이 쓰고 와 맞아 그 기본 제라 기본의 제라 아네 후보 한가지 기본 제라 또 방가지 된지레스 된지 소다 되게 말해서 와 되게 말다 돼 되게 말해서 뭐 한가지 된지 말해서 와 방과 와 진이 중앙로 또 강이 탄지 된반지 전지의 손에 되게 거 받이 되게 말해서 또 방지 뭐가 단지들 제가 제약한 거를 다고 제가 제약한 똑바리스 똑바 인자 딘지에서 그러와 긴 중앙에서 와 딘지 소자다 된 말에서 나오니 내 말에서 제가 말에서 딘지 세워대 빠게 쇼레상 쇼지상이래서 또봐 빠 참아 딘지 말에서 딘지 세워도 똑바게 쇼지자 되마도 빠 그거도 좀 말에서 그러와 어디 말에서 딘고는 뒤 말에서 간다 그 제빠지나 제빠 그거다 똑바 자는 거 똑바 자는 똑바 가가 딘지에서 그래서 리자지는 지금 말했어.
그거 제가 또 강한 데 댄시지. 이네 제공 대체하요 말이스.
어디지야 그래서 그러나서
이네 데 말이스.
So like that, it is inappropriate to stop all conceptuality when sustaining analysis because you consider it to be apprehensions of true existence. This is because, as I demonstrated several times above, conceptions that are apprehensions of true existence are only one category of conceptions. So, something that one shouldn't do analytical meditation because analytical meditations is conceptual, and all conceptuals are apprehensions of true existence or the apprehensions of sign. So therefore, one shouldn't do analytical meditation. However, this is not the right way to say this because not all conceptions or conceptual thoughts or conceptual consciousness are apprehensions of true existence. And conceptions that are apprehensions of true existence are only one category of conceptions. So it means that not all conceptions or conceptual thoughts are apprehensions of true existence. Though something that all conceptions or conceptual thoughts are apprehensions of true existence, therefore one shouldn't do analytical meditations. However, this is not the right way to say that because not all conceptions or conceptual thoughts are apprehensions of true existence, and also doing analytical meditation is necessary. So here it says that the assertions of the opponents saying that all conceptions you shouldn't do analytical meditation because analytical meditation is conceptions and all conceptions are apprehensions of true existence. And then here is already refuted. Then they change their position, saying that when the ultimate is taken as the subject, then whatever apprehended by the mind are apprehensions of sign. However, such is not asserted when a conventionality is taken as the subject. Then this is not correct also. So here it talks about they have changed their position because their previous position is already refuted. So they changed their position to saying that I'm not saying that all conceptions are apprehensions of true existence. Only refers to when to occasion when the ultimate is taken as a subject. Then the conception become then all conceptions in relation to that becomes apprehensions of true existence. However, in relation to conventionality, then this is not asserted. So they change their position. Propaganda the Tsinji na the Gunderis.
Digumare, Yomas and Digumate, Lunga, Lunga to the Lunga Mares, is Mudua.
The view that anything apprehended by conceptuality is damaged by reasoning is a denial with an excessive object of negation. It has been proven that this is not the meaning of the scriptures either. So here it basically refers to the previous point, saying that if you say that analytical meditation is conceptual, and then all conceptions are apprehensions of true existence, and then this is a denial with an excessive object of negations. So therefore, and this is already proven that it is not the meaning of the scriptures.
What the end of the one level? It is a good local data. Malaysia, a chain the low account of Tangi, David with Sinti, Nona, then visited the chain, then the chain, or change. On Tangi, the Mares, in the Pares, or the Subun, a draw tenant on does which you are, so the draw to imagine neither people to money, the Konani, a tiki chip about it, so there is, so there some of the things Chalmares, with the
So to answer the second position that has changed from the first position, then the answer is you might say, I do not accept this in relation to all phenomena, but whatever is conceived by the mind in relation to suchness is necessarily an apprehension of true existence. So this is their second positions. So, but here, then this is the answer. So, but here too, the fault arises from the manner in which it is apprehended. So, not from the apprehensions in and of itself. So, for it has been stated, ordinary people, ordinary being or short-sighted people, who aspire for liberation need to inquire into suchness by way of multiple avenues of scriptures and reasoning. So the fault arises from the manner in which it is apprehended, not from apprehension itself.
我也就是得这些小意思吧，我是这帮的比例上，这帮的嘛，我咱这帮起的，我来读啊，一般读人是得这小意思，
Also, so then next will be the dispelling the opinions. So and then I will discuss it in next class. So I will stop here. And
那咱们这个什么题目呢？其实吧，我主要把这个嘛，这这样子还过去有点是，是吧？这话说这个什么落学说。
So you can read this dispelling the objections from here, and then please read it before class. Then you have a better understanding when you come to your class.
当我是给说的这点吧，就把它说掉。我们当中就是跟当个绍兴康的是跟把人自己人来说，还把当。这刚才拉不到，说那个去，养生中也得对这个技能性，的，去什么学一级的，那刚才讲的有个了，马祖的年是把马有，有往新的把马有吧，你嘛，他马祖是把你都那个你谁对了，往前啊。
So we conclude with dedication. We dedicate these roots of virtue in general to the flourishing of Buddha Dharma and to the excellence of happiness of all sentient beings. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue for all upholders of Buddha's teaching, mainly His Holiness the Dalai Lama, to live eons long, have excellent health, with all their enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread in all directions. In particular, we dedicate these roots of virtue to our our beloved teacher, Kevin Lama Rinpoche. May the unmistaken reincarnations of Rinpoche be swiftly returned and continue to turn the wheel of Dharma for the sake of teachings and sentient being, so that we will have the opportunity to receive the profound teachings from Rinpoche again. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to the world peace. May excellent happiness prevail in the world. May wars, conflicts, disaster, natural disaster, pandemic, all these are getting worse and worse and getting more and more. So may all these be pacified immediately.
萨贝给我的天当着我滚拉看边当给我的这罗当着我一点点你们人多谁接受身中人波接马给放那给口气给把娘妈没把样过来不到陪我说被保护其他给把当工作上班那样对心对对他工业接受到路接给把给他当接着我同意到啊人波接马给放那给口气娘妈没把样过来工作陪我说人民到啊人波接马给放那给口气给把娘妈没把样过来工作陪我说不理理解速度就别让其接生是感觉这个人强他被我的这个说老师我的首先的个说看的本的嘛对吧看的就会上被疫情我看的从来的这个做老师我的手头先的个说到这点那就是你让做路上叫我也是就把这让家心里加油嘛对不对对没嘛就别个是有啥做的都别人把这祈祷就别自己别忘了那样没顺是别国家人出来其实老妈说我的本的嘛对就没也听到嘛就说也得了记得这帮这边包括希望现在也在帮人到这边感受进来了感谢他们都给老婆接了我这边让到上面是给上头些的东西说我为情感的频道的话嘛都就为你今日希望听这条可以就别事情我都听不进